Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mihir Joshi, and I have one heck of an evening for you guys. I know a lot of you are also anxiously waiting to find out what our Prime Minister is going to be telling us in just a little while. But while you've got that on your mind, let me get on my first guest for today. He's somebody whom I've been for the longest time. He is a singer I genuinely love very, very much. He's given some of the biggest hits, not just in Bollywood music industry, but in a whole bunch of spaces. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on the MJ show, the absolutely fantastic Benny Dayal. Hey, brother, good to have you on the show finally.
Hi, Mihir. We've been talking about this for years.
Literally, right? Like, I remember,
Yeah,
I think we bumped into each other at Ashish Manchanda's studio like some 5 years ago when you were, I think, your MTV Unplugged or
I was
Coke Studio.
working on the MTV Unplugged mix at that time with him.
MTV Unplugged, exactly. And we've been talking about doing this since then. And finally, it took a global pandemic and everybody being locked down at home for us to be able to coordinate our timings and make this happen. Okay, Benny. Okay, there you go. Benny's back.
Yeah, tell me, bro. I missed that one question.
No. I said that it took us like a whole bunch of things to finally make this happen. And it starts off with somebody telling you how much they love your spectacles, man. They love your the spectacles you're wearing right now. Rahil Lakhani is saying those spectacles are spectacular. I love that. That's a great way to kick off our show today.
Fun writers.
Yeah. So, okay, I got to start off, as I always do when somebody comes on the show for the first time, with how your journey began. I know everybody else would also love to know, how did you get into the music space? I mean, I know you've been doing so many things for so many years now, but were you always into music growing up?
Yeah, I was learning Carnatic music as a child, and I think when I was probably 14, ninth standard or something, I got the calling that maybe this is the one thing that's going to make me really happy forever.
And, so at the age of 14 is when you sort of made your sort of entry into the music space. I mean, professionally.
No. Professionally, 22. Like 8 years
20.
prior to that, is when I took a decision that yeah, this is how my life is gonna be. I want to be a musician, and that's it. So that was my.
So at 14, what did you do? What was your first step? I mean, like for all your younger fans following you right now, when your mind said that this is what I want to do with the rest of my life, what did you do to begin with?
Invest your time in listening. Very important. Everybody today there is an unfortunate pattern. Like sometimes some people could say like I'm cribbing about it, but I think this let's attacking the facts that like everybody today this millennial group of generation Z.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gen Z. So I'm not feeling old by saying so. But I'm saying that this Gen Z, like they want to get it out like really quick, and I think if you can give it like 1 or 2 years of not being so active by putting content out, and if you can really work on what you need to, then the content you put out will be like much more amazing. A lot of guys message me, a lot of girls and guys message me on DMs on Insta saying like, sir, ये मेरा वीडियो है, आप please देख लीजिएगा, आपको क्या लग रहा है, what do you think about? और मैं यही कहना चाहता हूँ कि please practice, because there's a lot of work to be done before it sounds right, और आप सोच रहे होंगे मुझे following नहीं मिल रहा है, it's because you have to really work hard to make it that impressive for the audience. And today's audience, they know what is amazing. So yeah, they work. It's a lot of hard work. So for me, I think listening to a lot of music in that context is very, very important.
So what was the music that you were listening to back then? What were your biggest influences at that point of time?
Everything actually, from old music to new music, whether English or whether Indian. A lot of old music and new music, definitely, and the stuff that was current at that time too, and kept updating yourself every time as you keep going. So that has been my way of listening. But it doesn't like main inspiration would definitely be Michael Jackson and definitely A.R. Rahman. These two people, I can say one from India, one from abroad. Definitely these two people were just yeah.
So, I know you've done a lot of work with Rahman sir over the years, and you've been fortunate enough to, in fact, kind of be your journey into professional music. Also, I would say, in a way, began with
Yes,
Rahman
yes,
sir.
yes, absolutely, absolutely,
But
absolutely.
but before we talk about your work with him, could we start off today's episode with maybe a line or two of a song by Michael Jackson, something that you loved when you were growing up?
For
I
me,
said, can we start off
song,
a song by Michael Jackson, maybe a line or two of something that you loved?
definitely. Uh, there's so many songs. Liberian girl, you came and you changed my world. A feeling so true. Liberian girl, you know that you came and you changed my world. Just like in the movies, just two lovers in a scene. Just seeing you and me. I say love you endlessly. I love you, Liberian girl.
Man, what a beautiful video that was. I love
Yeah,
how amazing, like the entire Hollywood music industry at that point of, I mean,
and the film
Hollywood
industry.
film
And
industry and the
the,
music industry was in that
in
one
one
music
video.
video.
In
That
one video.
just showed you the star power of Michael Jackson, right? Like
and the
every
song
major
and the
person.
song had nothing to do with the video had nothing to do with the song also. Genius.
Genius,
And
right?
it was like showing us that how Michael Jackson is a prankster and he's behind the camera when the video gets over. It's like, oh, Michael is here. We thought we are here to shoot for the video, but he's already shot you without you knowing.
That's brilliant. I still remember the John Travolta and what was the name of the lady from Greece?
Greece,
Uh,
I forgot her name too.
yeah, they are seen together, and then Richard
Yeah.
Dreyfuss and Steven Spielberg and Whoopi Goldberg. Like, man, that
Steven
was,
Spielberg,
yeah,
all the top actors, all the top actresses.
one of my favorite Michael Jackson videos to not really feature Michael
Yeah,
Jackson.
yeah, yeah. It's
That was
like
really really
greatest
cool.
hits, like greatest hits in all in one.
Yeah. So for me, Liberian Girl and Human Nature were the two songs that I really, really loved. Like these were my
Human Nature is
two.
my most favorite song. It's my most
Human
favorite song.
Nature is my number one song as well. So, when I think about like, okay, what's my Michael Jackson mood? If I had to listen to a song, my first thought goes towards Human Nature. But Liberian Girl has always been in my top three songs by Michael Jackson. Because his fast songs are great in a different mood. But you want to sit down and listen to his music, songs like this, and even stuff from his earlier music career when he was a kid, before his Off the Wall album,
I have,
before
I have his LPs at home when he
you
was
do.
Jackson 5. Yeah, I have the Christmas album. I have a twin LP player at home, so once in a while, to just run it and make sure that it is working perfectly, I run these records. So yeah, don't even go there, man. Like I'm a connoisseur of Michael Jackson's music. Like just really love it.
That's awesome, man. And I've said this before as well. For me, as a kid, I was a huge fan of his as well. And to know that my initials are the same as his was such a big
I
kick
know,
for me.
I know. You used to have the show, right? The MJ show. I was like,
It's still, this is the MJ show. You are
yeah,
on
I
the
know.
MJ show right
Yeah,
now.
correct, correct.
But
Now it's on
when I
Insta.
made
Now
it,
it's on
I did
Insta.
not think about Michael Jackson, but in my head it was like, hey, that's a nice little tribute to the guy who was a big inspiration for me as well. All right,
Yeah,
let's move
yeah,
on
yeah.
your early inspirations. let's
Huh?
let's talk about I said let's move beyond your early inspirations. Now let's talk about being working with somebody who literally every singer that I've interviewed so far, if I've asked them, if there's one music director in India that you want to work with, who would that be? 9 out of 10 people instantly think of Rahman sir. So
Correct.
talk to us. Tell us a little bit about your experience working with him, being sort of discovered by him, then from there to performing live with him and so on. Just tell us about your experiences with Rahman.
He's super cool, man. Like, he's a really cool person. Yeah, magic, just witnessing magic when sometimes like you're in a session and you're recording with him and he is recording you and he's also creating ideas in front of you. Just to watch that is amazing. It's like the best feeling. It's like, wow, I witnessed it. It's like that. No, but beyond the point, like it's dedication, man. His dedication, sincerity, passion, open-mindedness, and letting go of the past. All these qualities in him is like rocking. But that's exactly why he's an innovator. He's always going to be a constant innovator. I don't think people are still ready for his music. It's like that.
What's your earliest memory of Rahman sir? What was the song that you heard which you said that, man, I want to be able to sing something like this with
Yeah,
him someday? What was that?
Dil Se, the song Dil Se from Dil Se.
Can I
Yes.
hear a little bit of it?
Yeah, sure. I'll play. I've got my UK now, so just keep it entertaining. Hmm. दिल से रे, 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 दिल तो आखिर दिल है ना, मीठी सी मुश्किल है ना, पिया 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 ना पिया, जिया 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 ना जिया, दिल से
Yeah. So, I believe before you actually started your work with films, did you form a band before that, or
I had many bands. I had
you
had
have?
many
I know you've had many bands,
a lot of
but
bands, a lot of bands.
so were you in a band before you got discovered? I mean, before your film music career began?
Yes, 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 yes.
And
Before
what's
I
the kind of
started, I
music
was
that you were making then?
mostly indie, very few commercial, but mostly indie, absolutely indie. And it's been just funk, soul, R&B, jazz, hip hop, pop. Yeah, that's basically it. And acoustic acapella. Like these are the kind of genres I was a part of.
Oh, very
So
cool.
been a part of like many bands that way, and then I stick to one band now, which is Funktuation.
Punctuation, yeah. So you guys put out a new song I think about a day ago, right?
Yeah,
Yesterday.
it's called Lockdown Town.
So listen, guys, if you've not already gone and seen that video on the Punctuation YouTube channel, this video, which will be on YouTube, I mean on Instagram for like 24 hours, goes up on the MJ Show YouTube channel tomorrow. In the info section there, I'm going to give you a link to the new Punctuation song. And after this interview gets over at around 10:30, I'll give you a swipe up link right here on Instagram. You have to see it tonight. Like, it's awesome. Like, I literally saw it 2 hours before this interview began. And it's such a kick-ass song. And you guys obviously did it all sitting at your own homes, right?
What's the other way to do it? This is the only one way to do it. That's exactly why it's called Lockdown Town.
So, let's talk a little bit about punctuation because, in fact,
Yeah.
today I wanted to kind of focus more on your band and your work beyond your films as well, because I'm sure
Sure.
you've done a ton of interviews where you've talked about your work in films and you've sung all of those songs that you do in your films. Let's talk a little bit about the independent musician that is Benny Dayal. And,
Sure.
I've seen you guys perform on stage, and it's insane. Like, for everybody watching right now, if you've not seen Benny Dayal and Punctuation on stage, guys, you're missing out on something. And coincidentally, just yesterday evening, I had Shefali Alvarez on the show, and
Oh,
she is done.
Shafi.
Yeah. So I also know a secret. You guys have got something in the pipeline, right? I know we can't
Yeah,
talk
we have
about it
something
right
in the
now.
pipeline. We've just collaborated. We just recorded sounding great. It's a really beautiful song. It's really well done song. It's a beautiful, beautiful song. That's what I want to say. And I have something coming out tomorrow on my birthday. So no, I'm not plugging in, but I'm just saying, like, even since she's spoken about that, might as well just tell you that
My
I have
friend,
something.
this is the exact place to be plugging it. You're on a talk show. The whole objective of coming on a talk show is to plug things
I'm
that
not
are
very much
happening.
of a I'm not very
So
much
no,
of a
no,
plug-in kind of guy. I'm not
no,
very
no,
much
but
of a
tell me
plug-in kind of guy.
tomorrow, what's the song that's coming out tomorrow?
It's a cover, but it's a very beautiful version of it, and I've collaborated with Bryden and Parth from Bangalore. So they are two amazing musicians. I really love those guys, and exactly, Brian and Parth. So this is I've also played instruments in it. So this time I've introduced like a new instrument. It's called an African Udu. So I have an African Udu for the last 10 years. I haven't recorded much in it. And I got it from a great musician in US called Taco Hirano. He plays for Fleetwood Mac and plays for great. He's played for the what do you call on the pre-Grammys, they have a tribute night. So one of the tribute nights they had played for the John Lennon tribute night. So he played with most of the great musicians out there, Nathan East and everybody. So it's really brilliant. So he had gifted me this when I was on tour with Mr. Rahman. So I thought, like, man, I need to use this instrument, play something. So I've introduced that. I play the ukulele in the song. Bryden's on guitars and Parts on flute. The versions come out really brilliant. I'm going back and forth on the video right now. Video's also been shot. So tomorrow we're looking to release a video in the evening, and I hope it turns out well.
And the video will come out on the Benny Dayal YouTube channel?
Yes, on my YouTube channel.
So listen, guys, the other thing I'm going to do for you guys tomorrow is when this video goes up on the MJ Show YouTube channel, I'm going to give you a link to the Benny Dayal YouTube channel and to the Funktuation YouTube channel. You got to be subscribing to both of them. They've got great music, different kinds of music on both the channels. You need to be subscribing to both the channels so that you get all the awesome new music that Benny comes with. For instance, I'll give you an example. On the Benny Dayal YouTube channel, is one of my favorite covers of last year. I think it was last year. Correct me if I'm wrong. Jonita Gandhi, Brother V, Benny Dayal, and his band came together for the most mind-blowing version of Lamborghini that I've ever heard. Holy shit, man! What was that?
That was because, I was sitting in my car when I was traveling for shows, and I was listening on my. I was like, everybody listen to song. मुझे सुनने दो speaker पे. I was like in my earphone, let me listen. And I hadn't heard. I was like, man, this song has great scope with a live band. I was like, and then I told my band we have to play this, and it's like, but bro, like we're not gonna have like the thumpy sound like we have on live stage. I said, no, we tone it down. We're going to studio, playing live. We bring back to the roots, and make a version that is sounding very, very from the heart. Like any school band can play it, any college band can pick up the chord charts and make their version, So I thought we'd do that. We have a horn section called the Horn Flakes. Please check out the Horn Flakes. They are our horn section, the 3-piece Rahul.
On Instagram?
Yeah, they are Rahul, Joshua Thomas, Basant, Murlidhar on saxophone, Rahul on trombone, and Rakesh on. They're from Chennai and Bangalore. Amazing musicians. And we have a page called The Horn Flakes. So please do follow them too. They are very, very, core part of our band right now. It's just becoming so cool. The shows, like we're playing Bollywood, like disco and club stuff, with horns and everything. It's just sounding so brilliant. It's like party carnival, that's the whole thing when we go on stage. And we have melodies too that we play. But yeah, it's amazing. So we brought in everybody together. Got Jonita. I asked Jonita. She was like, yeah, fine. I asked Brother V. He's like, anytime. So I was like, wow, this is gonna be crazy. And I brought them in. And even my band members, like they hadn't jammed with Jonita or Brother V. Like I have performed with them years ago, and they were all just blown. And with the studio, that session was just, it was a live take, one live take from beginning to the end. Yeah, the audio you're listening. I'm telling you, everybody, that the Benny Dayal now recording series, the audio is one take. It's take number so and so. We don't do any, for producers out there listening, we don't do any edits. We definitely only edit the video because we need a lot of shots. But that's how we do it. So it's
that is really super dope, man. That's the old school way of recording things, Do the whole song in one go.
That's dying out today, because on YouTube everybody is making a video and then they just sit and lip sync to their video. A lot of us do that. But then we should never forget from where we came, and that's just playing the music live.
Man, I got to do a little plug. When we met at Ashish Manchanda's studio all those years ago, Ashish had actually produced my band's debut album called Mumbai Blues.
Yeah.
And we
you
actually recorded
for it.
We did. And thank you, man. And we actually recorded the album like this at Ranjit Parot studio. So the whole band played together. Drums, bass got recorded instantly. Guitars also pretty much, the rhythm section got recorded, but then we just overdubbed the solos and the vocals again. But the whole experience of playing like a band where you can see each other, and the entire take that you hear is just one take that we've kept, and then on top of that we put on vocals but the drums, we just did like 2 or 3 runs of each song, and whichever sounded the best, we kept that. That's such a cool way of doing things, and you've got that.
But ours was right there. Ours was right there. Like vocals and everything, we wanted it to sound in the same room. Yeah. So we had to
really
take it
cool,
that way.
Man.
You see the mics are like really right next to each other, but like we don't talk a word or make gestures while the other person is singing, so we don't leak into their mic. And the drum also plays. My drum is like they're very dynamic. They don't like smash. And my engineer Toby Joseph he's a wizard on the board. When it comes to cleaning up the entire session and making it sound really brilliant. Man, Toby is such a magician that way.
That's fantastic. So you got another, is that a new channel that you're starting, or on your channel itself you're starting a new series where you're doing this?
The series is on my page only. I just did, I did Funky Lambo, and I did, now I did a Tamil song of a Rahman hit. It's called Enne Kanavile. It's from an old movie in 97, I'm supposing, called Kadal Desam. So from that movie I had done a cover. That's also like, if you go and check it out, it's pretty awesome. And yeah, this is the same thing again. But this time we shot, the last one we did in Island City Studios in Bombay. This time we did it in Chennai. We wanted to give another place called, what's the place called? I'll tell you the name. I forgot the name of the place. Salt House. It's called Salt House. SALTHAUS. Salt House in Chennai. It's on the East Coast Road facing the beach. So it's really beautiful. So
Very cool.
it's a very cool studio, and it's owned by my friend called Uddhav. He used to be a drummer. Now he owns a studio. He's an engineer too, and a producer. So yeah, we got to do it over there, and it was great fun again. So we're looking forward to create more post this lockdown also. So let's see. I hope this ends so we can start doing stuff like that again and keep it interesting.
I just realized, speaking of the lockdown, a lot of people here, I can see people here telling me that, of course, our Prime Minister was supposed to go live at 8 p.m. I'm assuming he already has. And for everybody who's joined us late, don't worry, you can watch this on Instagram also for the next 24 hours, but I'll also put this on YouTube. But if there is any big news that you can tell us right now, if you can tell Benny and me right now that the lockdown ends from 17th, that would be fantastic. Or if it's extended also, just let us know here in the comments. And I know that a lot of people have been...
Yeah, just don't leave us 4 hours in hanging here.
Yeah.
But
so,
I'm suspecting an extension. I'm not suspecting...
I expect the same. I expect at least another 2 weeks for sure will very likely come on, because I don't see that changing until there is at least the possibility of a vaccine coming out sometime soon. By the way, somebody's been mentioning that they'd love to hear a Justin Timberlake song in your voice. Which song? I got this feeling. I know you did another Justin Timberlake song on your Instagram recently, right?
Yeah, actually I did.
Which was that? Cry Me a River? No. What did you do? You found a beat and Cry Me a River. Yeah.
I was simply jamming it, and it just ended up happening over there.
Hey, you sung in like a whole bunch of languages, right? You've sung in about 11 languages, I'm guessing, right? If I'm not wrong.
I've never counted, but I am supposing. But I'm thankful, yeah.
So is there any song, because I know a lot of people have been requesting for, here's somebody, Ayushi Sakarwal says Round Round song. Isn't that the one that you did with Brother V as well? Yeah, that was a fun song, man, and a fun video too. But I was saying, can you think of a song that you sung in multiple languages?
Yeah, I have a song in Tamil. Oh, a song that I have sung in multiple languages?
Yeah.
I have sung only, like, they're mostly the South Indian ones, because Hindi, they never end up being multilingual.
I know.
Definitely it is. So I have a song in this movie called Vinetati Varuvaya by AR. It's உன்னழகில் நான் கண்ணை சிமிட்டவும் மறந்தேன் ஹே ஆனா ஹே கண்டேன் ஹே ஓர் ஆயிரம் கனவு ஹே கரையும் உன்னாயிரம் நீரவு நீதான் வந்தாய் சென்றாய் உன் விழிகள் இரண்டை திரடி கொண்ட ஓமான பெண்ணே ஓமான பெண்ணே ஓமான பெண்ணே. So this is there in Telugu. So it's like kundana bomma kundana bomma kundana bomma kundana bomma ha oh kundana bomma kundana bomma kundana. Alright, so good. We have Telugu and Tamil of the same song.
Very cool. You won't believe it. I'm not kidding. My wife will tell you, I was listening to Omana Pennate just in this afternoon, and I want to tell you your version that you did in MTV Unplugged, which I think you also did in the Mojo.
Correct.
Mojo TV,
Music
right?
Mojo.
Music Mojo. Yeah. You did a similar kind of a version in both the places.
Yeah, because we had shot that first, and then we got invited to Unplugged, so we had a much more refined version over here.
Man, I loved that. That was one of my favorite songs from your episode. It was just such a groovy song. You started off with the kazoo, and then you go into this really groovy, almost John Mayer-esque kind of a vibe.
Yeah, correct. We had taken neon kind of a riff pattern, because the song is like way slower. So for acoustic, we needed to like really pick it up. Otherwise, it could like really drown the audience. So we thought like we should make it. But like cute that way.
Very cool, man. Who are the artists that you like listening to these days? Obviously, I could make out you like Justin Timberlake because he's got that same Michael Jackson-esque vibe in the younger guys. Who else? Who else you listen to?
Bruno Mars. I think I listened to his album even last night.
Okay, so strange coincidence. Just right now, somebody said, "We'd love to hear something by Bruno Mars in your voice." Who asked for that? Put the comment. Oh, here. This is Shivateja underscore Bengala. I hope I pronounced your last name right. He said, "Any Bruno Mars song, please. Can we hear something? Some song
Oh,
of
okay.
Bruno Mars?"
Let's take our time tonight. Come above us, all the stars are watching. There's no place I'd rather be in this world. Your eyes are where I'm lost in. Underneath the chandelier, we're dancing all alone. There's no reason to hide what we're feeling inside right now. So baby, don't you turn down the lights and close the door. Oh, I love that dress, but you won't need it anymore. No, you won't need it no more. Let's just kiss and be naked, baby. Versace on the floor. Ooh.
Oh yeah, man, that was awesome. Hey, I gotta tell you something fun that happened yesterday. So before Shefali, I had Shannon and Darshan on the show. Okay, so I had
Oh, yeah.
my 8 p.m. was with Shannon and Darshan, and 9 p.m. was with Shefali. And incredible coincidence. So I asked Shannon, "Hey, tell me one song, a Bollywood song that you love singing," and she sang "Bang Bang." And then a little later, I told Shefali, "Hey, so you done a few shows with Benny. Tell me one of the songs that you enjoy singing with him." And she said, and she sang "Bang Bang." So they did, obviously, they didn't know that they both were singing the same song. And we heard two very different versions of "Bang Bang" yesterday, Shannon's version and Shefali's version. And I said, I told Shefali at the end that you won't believe it. Tomorrow, I'm talking to Benny and I'm going to tell him that two people whom I had literally in the space of 2 hours sang "Bang Bang." And I got to tell you, man, I absolutely love that song. It's one of the coolest songs that you've made. Tell me about working with Vishal Shekhar.
Man, they're like, what is so Vishal? It's like, they're like a breeze, man. It's so easy to work with. Like, you walk into the studio, it's so encouraging. Yeah, man, you'll kill it, dude. This is the attitude. Like, I've not even heard the song, and they're like, it's already a lot of pressure. You're like, oh, you'll kill it. I'm scared. So, but yeah, they're amazing taskmasters, both of them, I must say. They're great producers, and they're great hit makers. They're great melody makers. And one thing that blows me about Vishal and Shekhar is that Shekhar is a great singer too, and he's a damn good producer, especially like some of his melodies that he makes is incredible. And Vishal is a great writer in Hindi and English, and I don't think it gets better than that. And so so suave, so articulate in English and in Hindi, and being a great singer, gifted with that kind of a voice, man, it's what do you call it? It's a triple threat.
So, of all the songs that you've done in your Bollywood career, what would be one of those songs that you felt was truly monumental, where you felt like, hey, this song really changed the way people perceive me? What would that song be?
That it was, I would say, like, people started perceiving me in 2013 when Badtameez came out, but then after that came out, they got to know, oh, I sang Kaise Mujhe Tu Mil Gayi from Gajini, which is like a pure ballad. And then they were like, sure, these guys sang the same thing as like that. So, but definitely for me, this Kaise Mujhe, because I think that put a very, people took me seriously because of that composition. Like singers, musicians, okay, he sings songs like this. And then the fun songs, but to be honest, the fun songs are the hard ones to sing. The
I mean, I can imagine.
That's
But
the hardest
Badtameez
song to
must
sing.
have been a difficult song to sing, right?
It is very hard song to sing. It's not
Do
very
you
easy.
remember? I know you performed it like 100,000 times
Yeah.
after that, but can we hear a little bit of that, because it's so fast? I love the phrasing and everything. Can we hear a little bit of that?
It's पान में पुदीना देखा नक्का नगीना देखा चिकनी चमेली देखा चिकना कमीना देखा चांद चीटा ओके चीट के याद सारे तारे बोले गिले गिले अक्का ए मेरी बात तेरी बात ज्यादा बातें बुरी बात थाली में कटोरा लेके आलू भात मोड़ी भात मेरे पीछे किसी मेरे बीट की याद साला मैंने तेरे को भी मारा मुक्का इस पे भूत कोई चढ़ा
Yeah, that was awesome, man. That was really, really cool. Now, listen. Let's move away from the Bollywood. Let's talk about the band again. Tell everybody a little bit more about Funktuation. What brought this band about? Why did you feel that this is the kind of music that you want to be making and putting out?
This is the kind of music I've always wanted to be part of, because I think, see, funk, according to me, is the true beginning of club music. The beginning of club music. Like, definitely there were big bands playing and people are swinging and jiving and everything. But then when funk music came into being, like, even those people who couldn't dance were allowed to dance on the dance floor. Till then, if you're jiving with a girl, you had to jive well. If you're waltzing, you have to waltz. If you're doing salsa, you have to do it really well, you know. It has to be in your blood. But the people were like that too at that time. But then when funk music came and the discos were like a big thing all over the world, that made everybody dance. It became an easy 4/4 groove that made everybody dance. And I'm a dancer from childhood. So, you know, for me, dancing, I feel like people should dance. And that just really changes their day, their life. And that's exactly why I started Funktuation, the funk band, and we wanted to interpret funk in many languages, because my strength is doing languages, and I've convincingly had Bollywood hits in languages, or like film hits in each language that, you know, audience knows. So I can do a Telugu song if I want with my band, a Telugu funk song. I can do a Bengali funk song. So I'm looking forward to doing that this year. You know, bringing out singles in languages, funk singles in languages, different Indian.
Just losing Benny right now. A little bit of an internet issue right now. Let's see. Hopefully, we'll get him back. We'll get him back. So while his internet connection comes back on again, I want to tell you once again, he's got a new song by his band. Search it right now. Oh, Benny just left. Let me see if I can add him on one more time and at least say bye-bye to him properly. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, in just a few minutes from now, I'm also going to be talking to another fantastic singer. Her name is Abhiruchi Singh, and she's got a new song called Chalo Chale. So we're going to find out a little bit about that. But let me see if I can get Benny back on again. Come on, Benny. Let's end it properly rather than ending it abruptly in the middle of nowhere. Hopefully he'll come back on. And at 9 p.m. I have somebody who I think I can safely say is the #1 digital influencer, #1 sort of news giver of entertainment of our country. I'm talking about Malini Agarwal and her incredible empire that she's kind of built, Miss Malini. So we're going to talk to her about everything from the way her journey began to where she's at right now. Hopefully we're going to get Benny back on just to say bye-bye to you guys, at least, if nothing else. But if not, anyhow, for those of you who are talking about Modi ji's speech, if you want to go watch, go out there and just leave these two people to talk. Oh man, thank you. Listen. There's no doubt that everybody is watching our Prime Minister. I had scheduled this episode before we found out that he's going to be going up at 8 p.m. So I can't like just let my guests say that, hey, you know what, let's just wait for that speech to get over and then we'll start. I know enough of you are watching it. I don't have a problem. And you guys who want to watch, you want to watch that, please go ahead and do that. But for those of you who are here, thank you very much for being here with us and for enjoying the music of Benny Dayal. Now, I don't know what the scene is. Hopefully, it's just an internet issue. And we will be able to get him back at some point in time. If not, on behalf of Benny Dayal, I want to say thanks to everybody who joined in, who's a fan of Benny Dayal. I had a great time chatting with him today. Hopefully, once this lockdown is over, I'll get him side by side and we'll do another proper episode. So let me do one thing. Since we're not able to get Benny Dayal back on, if he does come back on later on, I'll add him. But like I told you, I've got a second guest for this very episode. She's got a brand new song out. Let's find out a little bit more about Abhiruchi Singh and her new song Chalo Chale. Hey Abhiruchi, good to have you on the show.
Same here. How are you?
I'm doing really, really good. So, firstly, for everybody who follows me and who's seen my stories, yesterday I'm so sorry, Abhiruchi, I could not get you on at night, but I'm really happy that you can join me, that you could join me right now. And I did want to find out a little bit more about your new song. Beautiful song. You got a lovely video out there. So, firstly, for everybody who's watching this, when this video goes up on the YouTube channel of the MJ Show, in the info section, I'm going to give you a link to Abhiruchi's new song, which is called Chalo Chale. And once this episode gets over, like I told you, I'm going to give you a swipe up link to Benny's new song. I'm going to give you a swipe up link to Abhiruchi's new song as well. So now, Abhiruchi, tell us a little bit about the song. What brought out, what made you want to write this song? What made you want to make this music video? And considering that we are in the middle of a lockdown, how were you able to decide that okay, this is a good time to get the song out?
So, Chalo Chale, I wrote it 2 years back, and the whole idea behind it was finding that fairy tale world, the world that all of us dream of, and somehow escaping and just that beautiful world. Sab kuch acha hai. There is beautiful scenery around. There is no misery, no problems. Everything, sugar and spice, all things nice. So that was the idea behind it, because it's a very simple thought that I think all of us at different points of times in our lives have felt.
I agree.
So just that was the idea, and I had scheduled the release way before the lockdown, but due to some technical issues, we could not release it, and it happened to fall in place in such a way that it made a lot of more sense when it was released during the lockdown.
I was just going to say that considering that this was the thought process behind it, it fit in perfectly, because here's a time when everybody is really upset with how things are, and everybody's quarantined, and it's not the best place to be in. A song like this is perfect because it gets you out of that funk and takes you into a nice place. So before we talk a little bit more about the song, maybe about the video, can we hear you sing a little bit?
Sure thing. चलो चले जहाँ से परे, जहाँ जुगनों से सितारे, जहाँ गाती हो खामोशियाँ. चलो चले जहाँ सच हो सब में, जहाँ मीठी सी ठंड और मुट्ठी में बंद हो, जहाँ की सभी खुशियाँ. चलो चलो
That was lovely, and it's beautiful to like I said, to have a song right now which is happy and positive and gets people get them to have a smile on their face. Tell me a little bit more about your musical journey. How did you get into music? How did you start making music, and how long have you been doing this now?
So it's been a long journey. I've been singing since childhood, since I was 3. So my parents, they both sing, although not professionally, but they're both into singing. So I grew up listening to all of these songs by Lata ji, Asha ji, Rafi Saab, Kishore Da. So I grew up listening to that golden era of music. And after that, when I was in college, there happened to be 2 competitions and online competitions, and I won them. So while studying, I did my hotel management from Amity University. So while studying there was this contest by MTV, where being the winner, I got to sing a song with Nikhil D'Souza. That was a pretty big thing. And the second was the official remix of Pani Darang with Ayushmann Khurrana. So now Pani Darang being a rage at that point of time in 2012, me singing the song and being featuring in the video alongside Ayushmann was like this crazy thing that suddenly happened to me, and I did not know how to react to it. I remember I did not sleep all night when that video came out. And I think those were the decisive years when I actually realized that I could not really do anything other than music, even though I had no musical background in terms of the profession and the industry kind of a thing. No one to guide me how to go about it, and at back then it was just the playback thing that all the aspiring singers really had in mind, because the Indian music did not really we did not know how to go about that. So over time, in 2015, I came to Bombay and I moved, and then I did a few projects here and there. I sang something for Filori, the movie, and then I gave back vocals in a couple of movie songs. And I think, yeah, throughout that period of time, I started writing my own songs, and now the whole situation inside the hair has kind of shifted from the whole Bollywood thing to independent music, where I want to make my sound reach out to people. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Listen, guys, I'm going to give you a link to Abhiruchi's YouTube channel as well. Subscribe to that so that you can listen to all the new songs that she comes up with eventually, and definitely go out and check out Chalo Chale, which is on her channel. It's a beautiful song. You just heard her sing a little bit of it. And you know what? Before you leave for today, can we hear you sing a little bit of Pani Da Rang as well? Because I know people must have been, people have followed you since then. I see a few of your fans who are here. So it would be great to listen to a little bit of that.
And my version of Pani Da Rang is pretty different, because in the remix, Ayushmann sang the Punjabi lyrics and I sang the Hindi lyrics. So that was pretty interesting. Pani da rang dekh ke, pani da rang dekh ke, pani da rang dekh ke, meri आँखियों से आंसू बह गए, माहियाना आया मेरा, माहियाना आया, माहियाना आया मेरा, माहियाना आया, साजना आया मेरा, मितवाना आया, साजना आया मेरा, मितवाना आया, नैनों का नूर देख के, नैनों का नूर देख के, मेरी अखियाँ च हंजूर उड़ दे, मेरी अखियाँ च हंजूर उड़ दे, मेरी अखियों से आंसू बह गए.
Yeah, that was absolutely fantastic. You know what? Listen, I'm going to give people a link to the new song. I'm also going to give you guys a link to this version that she did with Ayushmann Khurrana. For joining me today and for telling us a little bit about your song, thank you so very, very much. And I'd love to hear more of your new material, your independent material in the years to come.
Absolutely.
So, and yeah, I know, and we'll get you back. We'll talk a little bit about your new songs when you get them. But for today, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had a good time. I had a great time chatting with you. And I'll see you soon after this lockdown's done.
Absolutely. I'll see you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. So I just got a message also from our friend Benny Dayal, who told me that unfortunately the internet connection where he's at got disrupted as I expected. But he says he was also very happy that all of you could join us right now. And I'm going to take a short break right now. It's 8:44 according to my watch, which means I'm going to be back here in 16 minutes talking with Miss Malini, that is Malini Agarwal, and we'll find out a little bit more about her life and about her journey. And while I'm away, I will now find out what our Prime Minister has said, because none of you have been nice enough to tell me what exactly has happened while I was sitting over here chatting with my friend Benny Dayal. But for right now, thank you all for joining me. Take care of yourself. And for all the lovely comments that have been coming for Abhiruchi, for Benny, for me, thank you very, very much. Hey, Tom Verghese, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying this stuff. And Neil's Exploration. Wow. Okay, I'm hoping it's Neil's Exploration, not Neil's Exploration, because That's two different things. Okay, Neil, thank you, man. I'm glad you enjoyed this. I'm sorry, I'm just messing around with you. For everybody who enjoyed today's show, thank you very, very much. I'll be back with you in about 15 minutes from now. Take care of yourself. Stay home. Stay safe. I believe I just saw like one drop down message saying that there is lockdown number 4, which I kind of 100% expected happening. Don't worry about it. This too shall pass. Take care of yourself, like I said. And I'll see you soon. Peace.